what are the best exercises to lose fat? All right. Let me give you a few answers to this question. Number one, I will never give you my goal is to simplify and continuously bring you back to the things that actually cause change, and never just to make content to make content. And I think that's important. That's important because that's not about me. That's more about, look, you're trying to accomplish something. And in order to do that, you need information. And then when you get the right information, you need to be able to apply it. But the thing is, and we all struggle with this, you don't need more and more information, okay? So this is a good skill to develop, right? Start to see when people are sharing information that's just to get more attention, which is fine. Everybody can do what they want to do, but remember, it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't help you, right? Because they might start talking about things that sound more exciting, but then don't actually cause the result. Or like a lot of things that, that really don't even matter. So I always go back to, there is always the vital few and the trivial many. Okay, so that means in any area, most things are trivial. There's a few vital things, right? So when somebody asked me, so yesterday I was getting my allergy shots at one of my clients' practices or offices, and one of the ladies or one of the girls who works there asked me, how can she lose fat, or what are some good exercises for under the arm? And first of all, my follow-up question is, good for them in what way? Are you wanting to strengthen your triceps so that you can press more? Are you wanting to strengthen your triceps so that you can heal an injury? Or what my assumption, right, based off of thousands of conversations, is that, okay, you want to look better. You want to lose the fat off your arm so it doesn't jiggle, and because you don't like that. All right, cool. That's great. Fantastic. So from there, I go, my answer to that is, look, and she did have a thing going on where she couldn't lift heavy. Again, relative term. And so she was saying, are there good exercises, for triceps? And I was like, well, it would be the same exercises that you would normally do, except you just go a little bit lighter, right? You go a little bit lighter, you go more reps, get more blood flow focus, and that's it. That's the difference. And so now, doing exercises for that area is not going to necessarily reduce the fat. And I know that is the prevailing belief about spot reduction. We've talked about this. Look, let's answer the original question real quick. Look, you want to lose fat, it doesn't matter what exercise you do something. The benefit of the exercise is not in the fat loss reduction category. It obviously has a small effect on that, but your main place where you're going to make an impact on body fat and reducing it is going to be how much food you eat. How many calories do you eat, right? And then the exercise part, if you're a beginner, what I would just focus on is find something fun and enjoyable and practical that you can start doing. And because you can build up and get to a point where you get deeper and deeper into the training, and but at the beginning you don't need to optimize anything. You just need to do stuff that's practical, simple, and repeatable, right? And preferably enjoyable. So that's how I would kind of go about that, and then really focus on understanding the calorie thing, right? Weigh everything. It will not take you a long time to learn the calorie counts, and you now will understand, like, oh damn, like, no wonder I'm 40 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, because I'm eating 3,500 calories a day, easy, and that's an average, right? Which is, by the way, 3,500 calories is the average calorie intake for an American. And I always say, the average human should be getting about, I don't know. Oh, well, we do know 2,000 calories. Like, if everybody ate about 2,000 calories, nobody would ever be fat, right? And because remember, that calorie number is based on how big you are. Okay, so yeah, like now that's the main answer. Now a little bit of context and some stuff that I've been thinking about for a long time, that I've seen evidence for, that I observed, and that I've also now there's some research coming out about it, so that's great, but I've discussed it here before, and that is that I believe, since fat loss is about taking those fat molecules and oxidizing them, okay? And how does that happen? Well, they got to travel through the blood and through the capillaries and blood vessels and blah, blah, blah. That system of blood vessels and capillaries is not preset. It gets added and increased based on demand, meaning if I work out my arms more, I will put more vascularization, more blood vessels and arteries, and not arteries, but capillaries and blood vessels, right? And so when you do that, because you use that area all the time, you should get better fat loss there. And we know this evidence, just even anecdotally, of like people who, even if they may be overweight, but most people have very lean or fairly lean arms and calves, right? Or forearms, and especially calves, even for people who are very overweight, which tells me like your calves are being used all the time, right? And that means they got great vascularization or vascularity. That means I would think that the body can pull fat from there a little bit more efficiently. So that's one thing. The second thing is, let's say even if that's not true, well, if you do curls all the time and you do them frequently, your arms are going to be harder. They're going to be more dense. And if that's the case, they're going to look better, even if you do have a little bit of fat on them, right? But if we combine it with the previous idea of like, well, if we're using this area all the time and we're building new vascularity, and thus we're being more efficient in being able to pull resources out of there and deliver nutrients, and I would then think that I should be able to access the fat there a little bit better, right? So anyways, that's my kind of long answer right there. But the big thing is, don't forget about the calorie deficit. It doesn't take very long to learn, like, weigh everything. You'll be shocked at how much calories you're actually consuming. Track it in an app. And 3 months, 6 months, you could change your entire life. You could be a completely different person. So anyways, that's it for this little chat. And remember, if you want one-on-one coaching, find me on Instagram. If you want, or you know what, there'll probably be a link somewhere in this description. And if you want to join my group coaching, which is I'm in there coaching every single day, it's a lot more affordable, $35 a month. which will go up to $50 a month at the end of the year. Being around a community of people who think like this, who are doing this, who are supportive and encouraging, and then also having my feedback on your questions daily. That's a powerful thing, right? And $35 a month, like, that's nothing. And my goal with that group is to provide the most positive, most encouraging, most enjoyable and practical and simple path to fat loss and long-term health. So I would love to have you be a part of it if that's what you're looking for, and see you guys on the next one.